guidance by startup founders. Thanks to them, no, there are a lot of novel ideas and novel products that have come up to us today. If I may ask you, what is the most innovative product that you have encountered? Anybody can say something about it, or you can type in the chat box. What is the most innovative product that you have encountered today? Any innovative product? By the way, to continue, at my end, one among the most innovative products is, of course, the birth of cell phones, or we so-called Android phones, because we can actually navigate our phones. We can do a lot of transactions to our cell phones. So with that, thanks to our startup founders, entrepreneurs, to a business that directly generates income, not only income, but social change and impact social cause. So before I'm going to start, I would like us to set our objectives for today. We would like to talk and understand entrepreneurship and sociopreneurship. What are the characteristics and differences of entrepreneurs? And then the entrepreneurial process, samples and opportunities of social entrepreneurship from Philippines and Indonesia as well, and some tools in preparing entrepreneurial ventures, and some points on identifying and analyzing market trends, customer needs, and challenges to identify viable businesses. So, are you ready? So if you're ready, kindly type 3 in your chat box. If you are ready, kindly type 3 in your chat box. So I am seeing number 3 in our chat box. Before we start, I would like us to look into these images. Okay, what do you see in the picture? Okay, in this image, what can you see in the picture? What can you see in the picture? So basically in the picture, you can see here, there are parents, no, a man and a woman, and also a baby. So why do I have to show this image to you when we talk about sociopreneurship? It is because in sociopreneurship, it has birth of different ideas, and these ideas has come to life. And when we give these ideas a chance, some of these ideas will go a long way, and actually would give birth to new ventures and new business endeavors. So moving on, what can you see in this picture? Can you see animals? Can you name one animal and type it in the chat box, please? Any animal that you can see on the screen, please. Oh, well and good. Others can see elephant and kangaroo. Okay. There are a lot of animals. There's a bear. And actually, it depends on your perspective what you can see. Similar to an entrepreneurial or social entrepreneurship organization, there are a lot of people working with different qualities, with different perspectives. So the elephant, if you may look at it, it is actually big and sturdy. The kangaroo is quick and witty. And the bear, they are different qualities. So for us to start business ventures, we must have to be with a team that have different perspectives and different capabilities and abilities. In this picture, can you see a black dot? If you see a black dot, type 6. If you see a black dot, please type 6. And if you don't, type 7. So if you see a black dot, type 6. If you don't see a black dot, type 7. So why do I have to tell you about this when we talk about entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship ventures? So this is an optical illusion picture, same as with the other pictures. So actually there are no black dots. No, the black dots seem to run from one point to another, but in reality, there are no black dots. We are actually deceived by the eyes. But actually, what I am trying to share is, in social entrepreneurship, we need to respond as the need arises, wherever it may be. So if there is a need to look into this social problem, we need to address it, because After all we know, it can be a domino effect from one problem to another. So there will be a lot that we need to solve. We need to be quick. Next, what can you see in this picture? Are the lines straight or are they sloping? Are the lines straight or are they sloping? If you could say that the lines are straight, type 8. If you see that it is sloping, type 9. If the lines are straight, type 8. If not, type 9. Okay. So still with this optical illusion picture, it seems that it is actually sloping. No, it is very good, boss, especially if you are a plus size like me and I'm going to wear a clothing. So this is going to be good for me because I can hide my fats. Okay, just joking. Actually, the lines are straight. It's just that the boxes are not aligned with each other. So it is actually true that when we are in any social entrepreneurship organization, we have different perspectives, but different values, different priorities, but we need to realign them, even our skills and capability, so that the organization will be into fruition or it will be progressive. Next picture. Can you see a woman in vanity or is it a skull? If you see a woman in vanity looking at a mirror, type 11. If you see a skull, type 12. If you see a woman, type 11. If you see a skull, type 12. Okay, well and good. I can see some of the responses. So thereby, actually, it can be either or both. So why do I have to show you when we are talking about social entrepreneurship? Every organization has its start and end. It's up to you, those working for the social entrepreneurship organization, whether you are going to continue or make your operations alive, or it will have its natural death. So we pray that when we start our ventures, we can make it an aim success. Okay, moving on. What can you see in the picture? Is it a Native American or an Eskimo? Is it a Native American or an Eskimo? If you say that it is a Native American, type 13. If you say that it's an Eskimo, type 14. If you can see a Native American Indian, type 13. If you can see an Eskimo, type 14. Okay. Well and good. You can see an Eskimo, the back of the Eskimo. Okay. So actually, it's very good. It can be both. Why do I have to share this when we have a social entrepreneurship? When we talk about social entrepreneurship, because this represents that the act of one member in an organization can represent the face of the entire organization. Thereby, we need to be very careful so that we can actually help one another on that end. Sorry for that. Moving on. Can I? What am I seeing here for a moment? I think you're not seeing my slides, right? Share for a moment. I have to pause. Um, Kita ra, Sam? Okay, moving on. And then, is the book looking towards you or away from you? Is the book looking towards you or away from you? If you can say that it's looking toward you, kindly type 15. If it's looking outward, you type 16. Okay, well and good. Some or most of you actually types 16. Sorry for that. I will try to continue. Thank you for sharing. So there are actually two perspectives in a coin. Sometimes it looks towards you it can be outward you either way. So, in that case, for a moment, sorry for technical. So actually, if you're looking toward you, so actually it's different perspectives if you're going to be in a social entrepreneurship business. It can be problem centric or you wanted to solve a problem. It can be outward you or you are looking for profit to continue. So there are different perspectives. Thank you very much for your participation. Now we are going to start. Before I'm going to discuss on social entrepreneurship, I would like us to delve into what is entrepreneurship. So there are three things that we can talk about when we talk about entrepreneurship. It is innovation, risk-taking, and value creation. So what comes into your mind when you hear the word creation? So when it's innovation, it is something new. It is something that we have not grasped yet, or it purports to novel solution. Not only innovation or something new, but it's risk-taking. There is a need to embrace uncertainty. We need to invest time and resources in these ventures. Sometimes these ventures can be very risky because it involves time, talent, resources. Value creation. Successful entrepreneurs generate economic growth and solve societal problems. So hopefully in the near future, in one way or another, we will be able to create the value of anything and everything that we encounter. Okay, not only that, we have this so-called entrepreneurial mindset. So because you are innovative and you wanted to think, look into different things, we try to constantly seek new ways to solve problem and create value. Okay, example of the very perennial problem that all of us can relate to during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, most especially for educators, how can we reach our students when we are in lockdown? So that is why there are a lot of ways and means that have been that have surfaced for us to deal with our students. We have our Google Classroom, we have Zoom, and any other platforms to contact with students. Risk tolerance. Sometimes when we are in an entrepreneur, we need to step out of our comfort zones and embrace uncertainty. We can never know. However, we just have to try. And then resilience, ability to bounce back from failures and learn from setbacks. A lot of successful entrepreneurs, it didn't make them successful at the first glance. Example, Walt Disney. Nowadays, we know Walt Disney, right? But actually, there are a lot of people who try to decline the offer because it's just but a mouse. But eventually, everyone knows about him. Others would even say there are a lot of ideas that have started. To continue, there are also types of entrepreneurs. If I may ask you, where do you belong if you will be an entrepreneur? Small business, innovative, or social? Actually, our focus for today will be on the social portion, but I'd like to discuss a bit, no? On small businesses, there are local shops, service providers, which are focused on steady growth. Thanks to them that we can access some things and materials ready, no, handedly to us. Innovative, they are those that disruptors of creating new technologies or business models. So lucky for you at this time. During our time, when we have cell phones, there are no internet yet. So usually analog, or during the time that we have when we started, no, the mouse, for example, it's just but a rat. Nowadays it can be used for computers. When we talk about Windows, it's just that Windows at our homes, but nowadays it can be used in some applications. Now let's go on to social. It addresses societal issues through sustainable business practices. So there are a lot of organizations that have started, possibly in your country as well as mine. In my country, there are those that try to actually discover using trash. Others also try to help farmers. They try to engage with some businesses that would help farmers. So moving on, these successful entrepreneurs actually are visionary. They see opportunities and imagine future possibilities. They try to persist There are times that they fail at start, other people don't support them, but they continue. And then they try to adapt. They have to be flexible on what is the need of their clientele. And then at this point, I would want us to have entrepreneurial mindset quiz before we continue socialpreneurship. I hope this will help you. Or have you already taken a quiz on entrepreneurial mindset? If you have, kindly type in your chat box 17. If not, type 18. For those who have already had taken an entrepreneurial mindset quiz, kindly type 17. If you have not, type 18. Okay. Others have taken, the others have not. Okay. So I will just dwell on those who have not. I hope you don't mind, and I hope you have pens with you, or actually you can use our chat portion for you to have this. In this entrepreneurial mindset quiz, we are going to evaluate your creativity, innovation, risk-taking, your proactiveness, resilience, and resourcefulness. So how the way you're going to answer it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 is if you strongly disagree. Number 2 is if you disagree. Number 3 is if you're neutral. Okay, either way. Number 4, you agree. And number 5, you strongly agree. Shall we start? If you're ready to start, kindly type 20 in the chat box. If you're ready to start, kindly type 20 in the chat box. Okay, let's start. Okay, creativity and innovation. For number 1, if you agree on this, type, okay, you can actually have number 5. Number 1, I enjoy thinking of new ways to solve problems. Number 2, I often find myself generating ideas for improving products or services. And number 3, I am comfortable trying to unconventional approaches to achieve goal. Actually, these only have 15 questions. So I think you are able to pick up wherever you are. You agree, you strongly agree, you're neutral, or you disagree. Can I move on to the next page, please? Okay, so number 1, I enjoy thinking of new ways to solve problems. Number 2, I often find myself generating ideas for improving products or services. And 3, I am comfortably trying unconventional approaches to achieve goal. Okay, next slide. The next slide is on risk taking. So number 4 question, I am willing to take calculated risks to pursue an opportunity. Number 5, I see failure as a chance to learn and improve. And number 6, I am not afraid to make decisions with incomplete information if needed. So I hope you are able to answer 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in these 3 questions. Okay. I hope I am fit to move on. You may just react if ever you want me to pause. Okay. Next is proactiveness. Okay, if you're proactive, number 7, I take initiative to start projects without waiting for instructions. Okay, I think most of you who are young enough usually take initiative. Number 8, I consistently look for ways to improve processes or systems. And number 9, I actively seek opportunities to create value for others. I think I'm fit to move on. Okay, moving on to the second to the last slide for this quiz is on resilience. Okay, number 10, I remain motivated even when faced with challenges or setbacks. No, students nowadays, very challenging. No, I remain motivated even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Next, I adapt quickly to changing situations and environments. I adapt quickly to changing situations and environments. And number 12, I can handle criticism constructively and use it to improve. I can handle criticism constructively and use it to improve. May I move on to the last slide for this question? Okay, this is the last slide, and particularly on the item of resourcefulness. Number 13, I can find creative ways to make the best use of limited resources. I can find creative ways to make the best use of limited resources. So what we are going to do after this is we are going to total your scores in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 test. Okay. Number 14, I can effectively network to build relationships and find support. I can effectively network to build relationships and find support. I am good at finding solutions to unexpected problems. Wow. I am good at finding solutions to unexpected problems. So at this point, may I know your scores? How much are your usual scores? So thereby, scoring results if add up all your points from all 15 questions. So these are the total score range interpretation. If your score is 60 to 75, you have a strong entrepreneurial mindset and you have the traits needed to succeed as an entrepreneur, such as creativity, resilience, and proactiveness. If your score is 45 to 59, you are having a moderate entrepreneurial mindset and you exhibit many entrepreneurial qualities, but could benefit from further development in specific areas. So there's always opportunity for growth. And then below 45, develop entrepreneurial mindset and focus on building traits like adaptability, creativity, risk-taking to strengthen your potential as an entrepreneur. So where are you in that bracket? If you are in the upper bracket, type A. If you are in 45 to 59, type B. If you are below 45, type C. Wow. Folks, you are into moderate entrepreneurial mindset. Okay. What about the others? So I'm happy that you are able to identify your mindset, mostly in moderate entrepreneurial mindset, and that is but really normal at our age. So shall we move on? I know that due to limited time, I might not let you reflect on this, but I just would like to let you know which areas of your entrepreneurial mindset are your strongest. No? Is it on creativity, innovation, risk-taking, proactiveness, resilience, and resourcefulness? So either way, if you are able to identify, I am glad. Then which traits would you like to develop, if I may ask you? Which traits would you like to develop further and how can you work on them? And how do you think these traits will help you in your personal and professional goals? I will leave you up to that to reflect. But if I may ask you, only one word, which trait do you like to develop? Can I have just one answer? Which trait do you like to develop?
Innovation for me.
Oh, innovation for you. Wow. I think we are on the same wavelength on that. Okay. So let's try to move on. I know that you are familiar with this, but just a bit of review. The entrepreneurial process. So when you are engaged into entrepreneurial endeavors, there's going to be idea generation, identifying opportunities and developing innovative solutions. So in order for you to generate ideas, where do you look into? What will be your basis for creating your ideas? So basically, most especially for social entrepreneurship, we look into the problems that are existing, the social problems, possibly for others, the unemployment, the poverty and related. What could be done given the resources in the environment? Example, in our case here, there are some students who are actually being required to create ventures. So one of the students, if you see my earrings here, so my earrings is made up of dried banana leaves because we would want them to generate ideas and make use of trash or any others. So this is what they make. They actually make earrings out of dried banana. So another is because of a problem, okay, particularly in Iligan City in Mindanao here in Philippines. One of their problems is flooding. The reason for flooding, of course, is because of the proliferation of water lilies. So instead of getting angry with water lilies, what they do is that they study about water lilies and found out that water lilies are actually very sturdy fiber. So what they did is they get the fiber out of those water lilies, and then they make bags and make slippers and shoes out from the water lilies. So those ideas coming from problems, coming from any other else to help, and though such actually they stopped flooding, and then they actually generate money out of those. And then with that idea generation, we can move into planning. So in planning, you're going to create your business plan and secure resources. So talking about business plans, I know you are familiar that when we have a business plan, you are going to have, of course, your business description, your product description. Not only that, how are you going to market your product or your service? Not only knowing what to market, the 7 P's, the product, price, place, promotion, process, people, and purpose of your business, you look into the operations. How are you going to make the product or service? How can you make it lucrative? How many in such a duration you might have tabulations, assumptions behind it, your management and organization, as well as the financial statements, the resources needed, your projections. So that will be needed during your planning. For you to know whether it is really needed or is there really a market for your entrepreneurial, social entrepreneurial venture, you try. Why? Because no matter how good, lucrative, productive your product is, but if nobody knows about it, they will not be able to avail it. So you try to launch it. At our time before, we used flyers, posters, but nowadays, not only mass media, but social media is very effective and any other platforms. And then growth, scaling the business and adapting to challenges. So it's not just good that we have a business. Example, if they started with earrings, so they going to have only the earrings? Maybe they can have bracelets. Possibly they can have bags or any other wallets. So that you need to scale up. You need to improve your business. So what can you see in the picture? Have you tried it? Do you have something like this at home? These are pet bottles. So instead of throwing them pens where you put on your accessories or any others, or you can have your pen holders. The one at the top you can see here is it's a BioLite. Actually, if there is no electricity, you can use wood to charge your cell phones, and that is that BioLite. Other also making use of recycled materials, you can actually, in the Philippines, during Christmas time or during these festivities, Advent at that, we usually have a full. And then the used, okay, of course, the used spoons, they can actually lantern and any others. Lot that you can think of. And then others, they can make shoes out of rabak, banana, whatever it is. And then fiber, whatever it is that can be readily available. Further, bicycles and any others, okay? So entrepreneurship versus social entrepreneurship. So we try to explore what is the difference between the traditional and social entrepreneurship, how they try to approach balance, profit, purpose, and social impact. So entrepreneurship focus on profit and market. They try to focus into success and maximizing shareholder value. On the other hand, prioritizes environment environmental impact while maintaining finance models. So entrepreneurs, for example, I know this is also very much common in your place. So example, if they have fruits, if they have vegetables. So in order for it not to be discarded, they would like to increase its shelf life jellies. Others try to process it in dried fruits and vegetables. Others, they try to dehydrate it. That can be in the entrepreneurship side. Social entrepreneurship, in order to help the farmers, they try to prioritize that those produce won't be discarded. So they create and recreate to upgrade the value of their produce. Examples of traditional entrepreneurship is Amazon, where they revolutionize e-commerce, transforming online shopping. So for us, we have Temu, we also have Lazada, and we also have Shopee. So we don't need to go to the area, most especially if we're busy with our schedules. We need not to be stuck in traffic. It is because it can be readily available through a single click. Next, Apple created disruptive technology by changing how we interact with digital devices. Thanks to those Android devices that we have now, we can actually do our online banking through our cell phones, fund transfers to our cell phones. We can actually buy, have transactions, do our research, no, to our gadgets. Then McDonald's, it becomes a fast food global giant, standardizing quick service in restaurants worldwide. And there are other related businesses. So those are traditional entrepreneurship. Now, if we move on to social entrepreneurship, we have Tom's Shoes. They donate a pair of shoes for every pair sold. They actually address poverty and health. We also have the Grameen Bank, which offers microloans to combat poverty, empower underprivileged communities. And we have Solar Sister that empowers women to sell clean energy products in rural Africa, promoting sustainability. So there are a lot of ways and means that social entrepreneurship can actually make a difference in our lives. Are you still there? If you are, kindly type 20. Are you still there? Okay, thank you very much. I hope that in one way or another, even if you already know this, I am able to remind you with this. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Entrepreneurship in a ASEAN setting. So all of us, we know, even in your country and mine, digital innovation is rapidly being adopted by all of us. The world is getting smaller. We can interact with people even if they might be far because of technology, and there are different business models. Another is we are moving towards sustainability focus and eco-friendly, socially responsible ventures. We wanted that we can actually preserve Mother Earth because of, after all, we know if there is something that might happen, everyone will be affected. And not only that, government support initiatives to foster entrepreneurial ecosystems across the region. So in so doing, for us to be able to have our successful social venture, we actually address sustainable development goals, which I know you are very much familiar. Poverty, zero hunger, good health. So anything that could address this or actually could be affirming in support towards these sustainable development goals will be a worthwhile venture. So there are some successful ASEAN entrepreneurs, Nadim Makarim, Tony Fernandez, and Anthony Tan. Okay. We also have entrepreneurship with AI integration and then entrepreneurship in education. That is why we are here for now. For skill development, we need to learn practical entrepreneurial skills. So possibly we can make use of our creativity in one way or another. Mentorship with guidance. Sometimes we can not only have mentorship with our teachers, but experienced experts in the industry, practitioners, and then looking forward for incubations of these ideas of ours. And then actually, I think in your country and mine, there are those who try to provide resources to support early startups. So I hope that in the long run, you will have those ideas put into practice. And next, the impact of this entrepreneurship, economic growth. It can create jobs because new ventures come into the picture. This innovation in various sectors can actually help people gain money. So example, in the Philippines, particularly in Bukidnon where I am, we are actually in this area in Bukidnon, cultural economic corridor. So the business or social entrepreneurship activities that can be enhanced in my place is related to agriculture. So there are actually ecotourism parks and other related that actually can help those residents within the area. Next is social change, addressing societal issues through innovative business solutions. So nowadays, there are some countries, thanks to them, that they try to convert trash into energy, even motion to energy. Japan, for example, if you walk, you actually can help have energy. There are some parts in this area. Another also is that those battles and others, they try to convert it into energy. So not only convert it into energy, but convert it into monoblocks, in the hollow blocks and others. Next, technological advancements, pushing boundaries of what's possible through new inventions. So I know young at heart, young minds actually have a lot of inventions in mind. So there are three approaches to finding a shift in whatever entrepreneurship, more so with social entrepreneurship. It can be research-centric, problem-centric, or people market-centric. So nowadays, talking about research-centric, we wanted to research in order to solve problems related to social or any related social concerns or problems. So example can be poverty, for example, can be unemployment. So thereby, there can be ways and means to make use. Others, they try to make use of byproducts of agricultural products so that they can make it into another venture. Okay, by during the time that there is not yet planting season, they can make use and earn money. Problem-centric. So nowadays in our environment, I think one of the examples that I've told you is the flooding issue. So it can be solving problems. And then people or market-centric. So whatever people might need, might want. So creating a need for your customers. So you can take a shift of that. And nowadays, our customers are more environmental conscious. They're actually supporting social entrepreneurships and social entrepreneurs. So people market centric, actually they change behavior. No wide adoption of new tech standards, consumer business, changing economics, and shift in social convention or taste. So the innovation approaches, what is the difference between traditional entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship? So traditional entrepreneurship focus on product or service that they wanted to innovate to capture market share and increase profits. So actually nowadays, online applications are into the picture. While social entrepreneurship, on the other hand, develops innovative solutions to societal problems in areas like education and health. So funding sources, we cannot start a venture without funding. Okay, so there can be different areas. We have angel investors and a lot. Okay, traditional entrepreneurship relies on venture capital, bank loans, and personal investments for growth, whereas social entrepreneurship utilizes impact investors or the so-called angel investors, grants, hybrid funding models for sustainability. It can either be government or it can be non-government organizations that wanted to help. And then they can have hybrid models combining traditional and social funding sources for balanced growth and impact. So moving on, market approach. In traditional entrepreneurship, it targets profitability. Okay, sometimes it targets sales. The endpoint is profit. Sometimes it targets marketing. The endpoint is customer satisfaction, satisfying what the consumer needs and wants in competitive markets. But social entrepreneurship had a different parlance because it balances market-driven strategies with the mission to help marginalized groups and address societal issues. If I may ask, kindly type in your chat box, in Indonesia, what is the most pressing, or in your place, what is the most pressing social problem or perennial problem? What is the most pressing social problem? Kindly share in the chat box. Any social problem in your place? Can anybody, or you may actually unmute so I can hear that you're going to share any social problem that you know. Do you have any idea about the social problem in your place? Yes?
Ma'am, in Indonesia, we have the inequality and empowerment, like something like that.
Okay.
And,
So in
and
Indonesia,
poverty is the big problem is poverty because the big population in Indonesia.
oh, yes. So really, it is very serious inequality. The rich getting richer, the poor on the other hand are getting poorer. There is no a inequality as to subdivision of resources and so on. So we are going to pray that your problem will be addressed. So thereby, social entrepreneurship is really needed in your country for you to be able to make use for those people who have those resources, make use of resources. So moving on, in social entrepreneurship, scalability and growth, for traditional entrepreneurship, it aims for rapid expansion. Any business wanted to expand further, either backwards or forward integration, closest to their clients or closest to their suppliers, or actually being the suppliers themselves, increase profitability to dominate markets. Social entrepreneurship, on the other hand, prioritizes scaling impact over profits while maintaining financial viability. So scaling, no, from one idea, creating, regenerating more ideas to make or sustain the said idea or startup. And then the long-term vision both focus on sustainability, but social entrepreneurs emphasizes systemic change. So with the social problem you said on inequality, that is already part of the system. So we pray that there's going to be systemic change so that the inequality will be addressed. So those, even though poor people, that they feel themselves at a disadvantage, but they can actually be given resources or make use even of trash or any other resources within. Okay. When I'm having actually entrepreneurship ideas from my students, I usually ask them, what is actually available outside of your homes? What are those things that we can make use? Some of the students would actually laugh out and say, Ma'am, we only have horseradish here, or kalamungay or malunggay, so-called. But I told them there are actually things that we can make out of malunggay. That's why I tried to suggest them, what can you make out of it? And eventually they end up with having the horseradish shake. It was as tasty as avocado or guacamole. So eventually that actually is a good business for them. Others would say, Mom, we only have squash at our backyard. So those squash, they can actually come into dessert and actually be into meals, be into jams and jellies. So moving on, leadership styles. So there are different leadership styles. Traditional entrepreneurship, because they're profit oriented, they focus on growth of the market and dominance of shareholder. Social entrepreneurship, on the other hand, mission driven. They want social change. They wanted to eliminate inequality, unemployment, poverty by addressing root causes of problems. So basically, people are unemployed because they don't have the skills. Upskilling, reskilling is needed. But in so doing, to address those concerns, what we can do is make use of whatever is available in the locality. Others trash, others byproducts. So key challenges, of course, if there is something that is going to be very beneficial in every situation, there is also challenge. In entrepreneurship, market competition is a challenge, profitability pressure, and constant need for innovation. Why constant need for innovation? Because new styles, new ways, new means, new sources, new colors, new variants is always present in our market. After all, if you introduce a new product, others would try to reintroduce. Example, if you're going to have here a street food. So if you're going to have a street food, others would have a different sauce. Others would have different shapes, different colors, different materials. So keeping up with innovating. Okay. Social entrepreneurship struggles with balancing financial goals, social mission, and often with limited funding sources. So thereby, if you're going to engage in social entrepreneurship, you need to let investors know, or you need to let people in the government know that this is existing, so that the government can support through economic enterprise. So there will be initiatives that the government will be able to help those who have nothing set at their table, but they can actually make use of what is available for them. Next, customer versus beneficiary. In traditional entrepreneurship, focusing on customers as the main source of revenue and growth. On the other hand, social entrepreneurship, they consider beneficiaries or communities being helped who may not always be direct customers. So one example here in the Philippines, we actually have here the rags to or helping women who are staying at their homes because they need to tend. So some of these women actually or try to design for these rugs to be converted into luxury bags. So they actually have that. Another, aside from rags to riches, we also have here human nature, whereby they try to buy the raw materials that they convert it into pampering products and caring products. Hello, am I still heard? Am I okay?
Sure, ma, sure, sure.
Di ko madunggan Sam? Ay sa. Can I be heard? Okay, I hope I am already heard. Okay, a pause for a moment. Okay, so thereby, if I'm fit to continue, kindly type 25 in the chat box. If you're still with me, are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Kindly type 25 in the chat box. Okay, thank you. And then let's move on. Hybrid models. So it's a combination. My signal is bad. The video is lagging. Oh, that is usually our predicament. My apologies if there are times that the video is lagging at your end. Yeah. Okay. Moving on, hybrid models. Patagonia combines profitability with environmental activism, promoting sustainability in outdoor gears. And then Warby Parker, buy a pair, give a pair. So model is wearing an eyewear, blending business success with social good. So there are other models combining the traditional and social entrepreneurship. Moving on, key performance matrices or matrix. For traditional entrepreneurship, it measures success by revenue, profits, and market share gains because that's how they try to dominate the market or increase their market share. Social entrepreneurship, on the other hand, evaluates the viability on financial and social impact, like the lives being improved, the people who actually have been sustained, and then reducing of carbon footprint. So nowadays, we go to solar energy or any other related. So theoretical foundations for social entrepreneurship, we have the Schumpeter's theory, which drives economic development to creative destruction, fostering innovation and market evolution. Ma'am, what is this creative destruction? Okay, basically the example would be is during the industrialization stage. So there is actually destruction, or possibly there is a change, or there is yes, destruction or disruption, so to speak. It is because people actually feared of, because of the creativity of having machines in the picture, then people will be replaced by machines. But eventually, we come to pass on that stage during pandemic, whereby there is actually face-to-face teaching, and there is actually a need to have the social platform teaching. So there are actually disruptions that would let us come up, no problem solving, come up with another venture. Next is Zara's typology, whereas it categorizes social entrepreneurs based on motives, search processes, and ethical challenges. And then Nicole's model, social entrepreneurship creates sustainable models for addressing societal challenges, blending innovation with impact. So in social entrepreneurship, usually the one that I tried to ask you earlier, we need to identify a social issue that is very pressing. We are going to develop solution, and then we're going to measure impact, evaluating social and economic outcomes of the venture. So for funding startups, others, they use their personal savings, that is bootstrapping. Another, they make use of angel investors. So they are high net worth individuals. They can provide capital provided that they can be convinced that they can actually gain something out from your venture. So either it would gain them prestige, it would gain them additional income. Then venture capital, professional firms investing in high growth potential startups, and then crowdfunding, raised small amounts from many individuals. So some cooperatives have it this way, pooling people and pooling resources. And then the challenges, financial uncertainty is in the picture, but that can be managed through having liquidity in your business, sound cash flow, and securing funding. Market competition, so you need to stand out with crowded markets by having constant innovation. And work-life balance, long hours and high stress. So with these challenges, in this VUCA world, the volatile, uncertain world, we can actually have ways and means. We need to integrate profit-driven and social impact models, so blended approaches, technological innovation, which can be beneficial both profitability-wise and social-wise, and global collaboration. So one way is when we try to collaborate with different countries. So Indonesia's entrepreneurial ecosystem, I think you're very much familiar, but I will just try to run this down a bit. Indonesia's entrepreneurial landscape is diverse and dynamic, spans with various sectors. And I have learned that you are rich in e-commerce, agriculture, and country's rich culture and growing economy. So when we talk about Indonesia, or some people would try to, if you've been to Indonesia, you have to see their batik. So if you have a batik, that is actually a status symbol for us that somebody have been to Indonesia. So it is very, very creative of you. And then a digital economy, I know you have this online platforms, Tokopedia, Bukalapak, and Shopee. Can somebody share to me about Tokopedia? My apologies, I haven't been to Indonesia yet. What is your experience with Tokopedia? Anybody?
Yeah, please
Or
maybe
have you made use
Brother
of
Fawaz,
this?
Sister Naswa, give the advice, give your experience when you use the Tokopedia, Bukalapak, or Shopee. Maybe every single day, because Brother Pawas can take somebody said that. Pawas, maybe you can give your experience.
And
Yeah, I
anybody
think
who have an experience?
I think I have an experience that I always buy on the Shopee or TikTok shop right now that powered by Tokopedia. So maybe it tends to be more attractive because the discount and also the competitive cost also between Shopee and Tokopedia. And yeah, most of the time that we will choose to buy on the online shop because it's cheaper than the other offline shop.
Mm, wow. Thank you very much for sharing that. So not only this Tokopedia, Shopee, I have tried Shopee as well. The fintech growth, anybody who have used Dana and Ovo, they have experiences with that for your digital payments. In our place, we have the so-called GCash. We also have PayMaya.
Yeah, Brother
Can
Paul,
somebody share?
online funding or
I,
initial is
I did
pinjol.
not. I
Yeah.
did, for me, I did not use Dana, but I used GoPay to some of my transaction.
Okay.
I want to buy internet. I use GoPay or to do any transaction, and it's very easy. Yeah, it's like in just
Alright.
you can do
That's
your
great.
payment, and yeah, you don't have to carry cash everywhere. So yeah, easy to go.
Wow. So it makes life, no, it's make life convenient for you to pay for those digital payment solutions. Massive internet penetration also, we have the link Aja. So thank you very much for sharing, okay, those experiences that you have. Okay, another in your ecosystem is agriculture and agri-tech. Traditional farming, Indonesia's agriculture sector is a major contributor to the GDP. And tech integration, entrepreneurs modernize agriculture with precision in farming and supply chain optimization, and direct connection startups like Tani Hub that connects farmers directly with consumers. So it's actually I would like to commend your country for that. And then another creativity is on fashion and crafts like Eric showcase traditional batik designs in modern contexts. You also have the digital media. YouTubers and content creators produce localized content for diverse audiences. And of course, your cultural inspiration, whereby every country who've known Indonesia, you are rich in heritage and innovation and various creative sectors. So there was a friend of mine actually who've been into your country and bought me a batik. I was so proud of that batik, one of your batik. And then sustainable businesses. You also have your eco-friendly products. And then waste management, you promote sustainable waste solutions, renewable energies, and EV initiatives like Gojek, that you have your implement your electric vehicle programs. So that's good. And tourism and hospitality, which whereby you can also make use of social entrepreneurship for tourism and hospitality. Of course, Indonesia is known for Bali, your famous tourist destination known for beaches and culture. No, if people would say if they go to Indonesia, you really have to go to Bali. Lucky for you, you've been to those famous tourist destinations. And Yogyakarta, your Javanese culture and historic sites. And then your gateway to your Komodo National Park, your ecotourism hub. So in ed technology, there is a demand for growth, uh, demand for increasing development in edtech, platform development, as well as accessibility. So in your country also, small and medium enterprise try to thrive just like in the Philippines, from food, scraps, and retail thrive across urban areas. If I may ask you, what is the stable food for Indonesia? If you're in Indonesia, the people would say, you haven't been in Indonesia if you have not eaten this food. Kindly share, you may. Are we still okay with our time? Okay, Rabatas. Are we still okay with Can you share about food from Indonesia? Anybody?
I think for
That if we would say,
Yogyakarta, Yogyakarta itself, it's gudeg because it's very traditional food from Yogyakarta. So maybe for the tourists, they need to try those food.
looking forward, I hope I can visit your country, in some other time. And digital adaptation, traditional vendor skill, digital marketing, and economic backbone. So SMEs form a crucial part of Indonesia diverse economy, same as with Japan. And here also in the Philippines, we have small, medium enterprise that actually help our country greatly. And then digital transformation with traditional markets. I think your local vendors sell goods in physical marketplaces, same as in our country. Online platforms, as what you have shared earlier, and modernized trade with the use of e-commerce. So social entrepreneurship and social enterprise in your country. Business prioritize community welfare alongside profit. Organizations like Do Anyam work with rural women to create handmade crafts. Can somebody share about this Do Anyam? Have you tried or have you make hold of their handmade crafts? What are examples of their handmade crafts? Are these decorations or are these wallets or what are these? Am I still heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then women entrepreneurship initiatives support female business owners. Okay, let's try to move on. And then startups and unicorns in your country, you have Gojek, Traveloka, and Tokopedia. Okay. Super app, hailing, delivery, and digital payments. So in our country, we have the similar to that, we have a Food Panda, we have the Grab, and then Traveloka, booking in platforms in Southeast Asia. So we also have that here, and Tokopedia, e-commerce platforms. There are also home-based businesses. I would like to commend your country also for the halal certification. No, before actually, when I hear of halal, it is just that if it's a halal prepared food, I thought if it's pork free, but it's not just it's pork free, but actually the preparation of the meals in accordance with Quran. So it was actually uh well processed, no? So that is why, as for now, I really am convinced that if it's halal certified, no, it's really a high-end restaurant. So home-based businesses, social media marketing, entrepreneurs leverage platforms like Instagram to sell handmade goods, and then online classes, virtual courses, and various skills and topics. And then I have also heard that you have a lot of finance influencers, no, influencers in the economy, content creators that build personal brands and partnerships. And then praying for the continuity of this, the government support, the digital startup movement, Gerakan, startup digital aims, SME supports, and policy development. You also have, I think, co-working spaces and incubators. So Block 71 Jakarta, networking opportunities, and Go Work. And then you actually host entrepreneurial events and competitions like the Startup Weekend Indonesia, the 54-hour startup creation event. I don't know if some of you are able to participate or have heard of this. Startup Summit for entrepreneurs with investors and mentors, and Tech in Asia Jakarta, your largest tech conference. So if I have heard, and as well as you have shared about your entrepreneurial events, I'd like to share also the entrepreneurial spirit in the Philippines. So Philippines boasts a unique entrepreneurial landscape with a blend of resilience, community focus, and innovation. So this overview explores key aspects of Filipino entrepreneurship. So resilience and adaptability. There are the Filipinos wanted to have creative solutions, disaster-driven resilience. No, I think you've heard the Philippines. Some areas in the Philippines are affected by earthquake, not only earthquake but also flooding. So natural disasters actually foster entrepreneurial traits, and then flexible business models. So as the case may be, or what is applicable in the place, that pivot strategies to survive certain environments. So there are actually family-oriented perspectives, social circles that actually collaborate. So risk aversion optimism is actually being practiced as well. Filipino entrepreneurs often start small-scale businesses with low capital investments, catering only to a few, and then they have optimal outlook, drives pursuit to entrepreneurial ventures despite the challenges and praying for gradual growth. So there are innovative use of resources, I think some of which could be available in your countries as well. We make use of local materials. We have our sari-sari stores. So sometimes here, sari-sari stores, we are called the Sachet Republic. If we cannot buy the big or the version, others would try to repack it so that local residents who cannot afford can actually buy it. We have mobile food stalls and micro businesses, small scale. And then digital entrepreneurship, social media adoption, e-commerce, and digital services also thrive in our country. And then micro, small, and medium enterprise compose of the economic backbone. So the registered businesses in our country are registered with the DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, as well as for those corporations, we have the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, and then more so because there are also individuals in groups thriving, associations and cooperatives. They are also registered with the Cooperatives Development Authority. Diverse sectors, we focus on retail, agriculture, manufacturing, and food services. The Filipinos always love food, no? Whenever we go, wherever we go, we usually love food. And then job creation, significant contributors to employment in the country. And then we also have street vending, jeepney operations, freelance services. So there are a lot of informal transportations in our country as well. And then franchising actually have made its way in the Philippines. It becomes a popular practice from food, retail, goods, and then in risk mitigation, it actually these franchises actually, because they're already well-established brands, and then even foreigners who come into our country, they prefer those franchise businesses, and rapid expansion and local adaptation. So let's delve into the social entrepreneurship at our end. It addresses issues. Entrepreneurs tackle societal problems like poverty, environmental sustainability with profit, no? And then growing trend. So the challenges that we face here in the Philippines is limitation in our capital, bureaucratic hurdles, no, complex regulations, paperwork. If you're going to start up a business, you're going to have business registration, operations. It is going to be very tasky. And then, but nowadays there are one-stop shops already. So whereby if you get a certification, you can just go into one place and you can actually accomplish a lot in that area. It is sponsored by the government. And economic vulnerability, businesses face risk for economic disruptions and natural disasters. But even then, there are opportunities for growth because of the birth of digital platforms. There are products that are increasing in demand, socially responsible goods, and then also making use of natural products or eco-friendly products, and then government support. So if not for social entrepreneurship, we also have some businesses, no, entrepreneurship at that, having successful stories like SM Investments, Jollibee. They actually have social entrepreneurship, I mean social responsibility towards Filipino people. So there are different industries. For entrepreneurship, our future would be built on tech integration, global expansion, and innovative hubs. So we have this, as what I mentioned earlier, the social entrepreneurship here is in the Philippines is eco-friendly personal care. The farmers, there are some local farmers who try to plant the raw materials of these products, and then they are bought at a good price so that the farmers will be able to sustain their operation. We also have Gawad Kalinga's Enchanted Farm. It's an incubation hub that supports social enterprises, empower host startups, and eradicate poverty in some selected communities. The one I mentioned earlier, also the Rags to Riches, upcycle fashion. These are rags, but because they are designed by some prominent designers, they are actually becoming high-end products in the Philippines. The impact of which the underprivileged artisans provide platform to showcase their work because there are some NGOs that help them, and it benefits and improves their livelihood and financial literacy. Happy Noy also empowering small businesses. These are focusing on sari-sari store, the small stores that we have, providing business skills and financial literacy as well as technology. And then Messy Bessie, cleaning with a cause. So eco-friendly produces environmental conscious cleaning materials. So this is also helping the environment and provides employment, education opportunities. And then the social impact, of course, they are supporting those who have been abused or neglected. And then the Bayani Brew, we have sustainable local beverages using indigenous plants to create unique bottled tea. We also have this farmer support with small-scale farmers to source ingredients. And then it's going to be promoted through local agricultural practices in beverage production. So in the Philippines also, the Department of Trade and Industry, they have the so-called UTOP or one town, one product, whereby whatever is the product of that town, they're actually being innovated and then actually being marketed. And poverty alleviation and social entrepreneurship are employment, education, and support sustainable income generation. So sustainability in social enterprise can be upcycling, so repurpose waste materials into valuable products, eco-friendly production or sustainable manufacturing processes that may reduce environmental impact, and then the fair trade. So with that, community-centered models, it can be co-creation, local communities. Actually, those residents in community have the talents, and then those who have money for the startup, they can actually help them create the enterprise. The tailored approach can also be used, whereby projects are designed to address specific needs of community, and then empowerment, not stakeholders, not just beneficiary of social initiatives. So focus on women, youth, and even out of school youth for skill building, development programs, and then creating opportunities for businesses. However, even if there are opportunities, there are also challenges that we pray that can be hurdled on. Secure sustainable financing, consumer prioritize cost over social or environmental impact. So nowadays, we really try to make it a point that consumers are aware that if they are having these products, they are helping environment, they're helping farmers, and helping those who need help the most. And then policy gaps. So limited government support, there are legal frameworks, but nowadays, local governments, they are actually having EEU unit or economic enterprise unit that can actually help this concerns of social entrepreneurship. DSWD provide funding. Some others, even the Department of Agrarian Reform also are providing funding. So PhilSep, Ashoka Philippines, they are advocates of supporting social enterprise. So in the future of social entrepreneurship, awareness, innovation, and collaboration. So not only collaborating with stakeholders, those with abilities and creativity, and of course, possibly collaboration with other countries that could actually help in enterprise. And then the impact for Philippine society could be job creation and social progress, sustainable businesses, skill development, and community empowerment, and hopefully, to reduce poverty and then foster innovation. So in social entrepreneurship in Indonesia, I have heard that there are rural women making no doanyam, the one I said earlier, hand-woven products using traditional techniques. This is very empowering. And then we also have the wicklers for a moment. Can somebody share about the wicklers? Transforming waste. Do you have anybody who have idea on how this is being done? Or were you able to have products coming from this social entrepreneurship? Anybody from the group? Yes, sir. Angie. Sir Angie, are we still on the right track or on the right time, sir? Or are you still with me or are you able to hear me? Kindly type 26 if you are.
Yes, ma'am. Please repeat what you mentioned.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody who happen to know or have have make use about these Doanyam products? Is there anybody who own this? Have take hold of this? Or are there anybody who have heard what products from the recyclers? Community collecting recyclable waste. Are these products generally sold in local markets? The recyclers products?
Yeah, we have, ma'am. We have like now in Yogyakarta, especially, we have the innovation for batik. We have the material for natural material, ma'am. Not from the chemistry material, but focus on the natural material, ma'am. The example for the
Wow.
batik. And the second
Wow.
is we have the recycled product like a bag, maybe, ma'am, like small bag, like so yeah, just simple like the handcraft, ma'am. We have the focus on
Thank,
natural material.
wow. Thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Angie. That is very, very helpful. And then Copernic, innovative technology in remote areas, whereby they distribute simple innovative technologies to remote areas, providing water filters, social lamps, and underserved communities. And its impact is to access and essential tools enhancing quality of life. And also the Aruna, the Sea for All, whereby there can be access no from fishermen towards to from fish fishermen to the market, ensures fair prices and reduces post-harvest losses. This is also very helpful in our country. The Kitabisa, crowdfunding social causes, and then Batik Fractal blending tradition. Batik really indeed is but superb. Traditional techniques, and then connects the artisans to the international economy. And then Temu, no, I am one of those who really avail of this, whereby ongoing support for career development and skills. And then the Ecodo, procurement made easy, cultural local empowerment, and sustainable environment impact. So waste management, eco-friendly products, renewable energy. So I am proud for your country for having this platforms, integration, and access. I think the one you shared earlier about of course the differences on limited funding, market awareness, and then regulatory barriers. So hopefully that the government as well as NGOs will be able to help in this. So supporting our organizations, you have Instellar, Social Enterprise Indonesia, Social Bus, and UNDP's Youth Lab, and the future of Indonesian social entrepreneurship, the cultural preservation. I really am looking forward on this, digital innovation and global impact. So I think you're familiar already with that. Just to share rundown, some tools used in preparing entrepreneurial ventures. Of course, we also have this UVP, customer profile. Though you know the pains of the customers, and then after which, what are they doing for the moment to be able to address these pains? And then what are the gains, what they would love to be available? And then whereby that's the time that as a social entrepreneur or having a social entrepreneur mindset, you are going to create products and services whereby they will be able to gain and relieve. So this can be a problem a solution platform. And then you can also have your, you can also make use of your BMC. You are going to make use of the BMC, the business model canvas, whereby after identifying the problem, you have your key partnerships, your key activities are laid down, your key resources, value proposition, you have your cost structure, because of course, and then how to establish customer relationships, then your customer segments, and then your cost structure and revenue streams. And then I think you also have this, the lean canvas model, the problem solution, then you have your unique selling proposition. So still almost the same. And then you can also have this tool. Another tool can be your problem solving tool, the DTP. How can you solve it? And then lastly, the solution matrix. And then, sir, do I still have the time to show this video? Sir Angie, is it still okay? Are we still on time? Okay, I would like to show this video for all of you, aspiring social entrepreneurs, for a moment. So this will be the last among my slides. When I talked to Ma'am Samantha, actually Ma'am Samantha would have another schedule. So similar to everyone in community, these pots are just like us. We are happy because we wanted to serve. So the use of the pot is actually, it gathers water that would give life to communities. Sometimes we are conformed into the areas where we are, institutions where we are. We can be in schools. We try to we try to interact with different perspectives, different ideas. And then we are happy because we are able to contribute to the general community or the general public with our own simple ideas. However, there are times in life that we can be tested. And without us knowing even how much we tried, but due to circumstances, we are broken. How can we still contribute to the community? To contribute to the social community? Sometimes we fear a lot of things. Sometimes we wanted to contribute, we wanted to be with our companions, but we are broken. There is inequality here. And then even if I wanted to give much, but because I am broken, I just spilled water. That is in your own viewpoint. However, and sometimes we fear rejection. However, we are placed in such a way, we fear rejection, but we are placed in such a way as students for now, broken, limited resources, but we still continue with life because this is what is in store for us. Even if we have ideas, sometimes it would slip out our minds. We wanted to seclude ourselves. We think we could not help much. And we think we wasted a lot. But lo and behold, because my daughter here, just sit down there, baby. So there are times that we are being challenged, but it opens our horizons to different perspectives. We are placed in such a way, like social entrepreneurs, that we thought that we wasted things, but no, we are put in such a way that no matter how simple, how small our ideas will be, it will be put to fruition and to good use because we water people, ideas. We actually have small ventures. And thanks to that, no one is too small, too broken, too hurt that you could not contribute anything. So the little ideas that you have had, they can actually be good for social entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you can start. So I think that would be the end of my presentation. And then these are some of my reference and resources. Thank you very much for the opportunity to let me share. I hope you have learned something out from our sharing. If time permits.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Reggie, for your presentation. It's very amazing for us, not just for student, but for us. So the presentation is very sad, but it's the contribute to the other. When we broke, you not give contribution, but you can still give contribution, not just for one specific, but the other specific, like the flower, like this is the philosophy, how to be still contribute with the other. So maybe Ma'am Samata maybe give the additional material maybe or just the only from the Ma'am Reggie.
Yeah, I can share next week, sir, but if you want to give me time today to share my experience
I,
or
maybe 20 minutes is okay, Ma'am, because we must be the discussion with the other student here.
okay.
It's okay?
Yeah. Okay, sir. Can I share my screen?
Okay.
So I am well, um screen visible.
Okay.
Okay. So who is a social entrepreneur? So can I get a background first? You're all what are your year level? Are you college students? Or are you can you give me a background first about the audience?
Yeah, this the bachelor.
Again, again, sir, I was not able to hear that.
We're university students,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay. And do you have already business ideas in mind?
Yeah, some of them.
All right. So later we will share about that. So, who is a social entrepreneur? It is a person who pursues novel application that have the potential to solve community-based problems. So the key words here are novel applications to solve community-based problems. And these are individuals who are willing to take on the risk and effort to create positive changes in society through their initiatives. So the key word here is create positive changes in society. So sociopreneur, as you have as you are calling it, but here in the Philippines we call it social entrepreneurship. Globally, socialpreneurship has gained momentum as a response to pressing challenges like poverty, inequality, and climate change. So you have mentioned earlier that your challenge there in Indonesia is inequality, but the rise of social entrepreneurship, the rise of social enterprises reflects a growing awareness of the need for business models to balance purpose and profit. Um, Initiatives like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which you are familiar, right? So these are the, the 17 SDGs of the United Nations. I know that you're familiar with this already. In Southeast Asia, poverty alleviation, education, healthcare, access, and environmental conservation are common focus areas for socialpreneurs. Countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam have vibrant socialpreneur ecosystems driven by youth-led innovation, policy support, technological integration, and cultural sensitivity. So here are sample of socialpreneurs per um, per drive force in the socialpreneur. So we have youth-led innovations. This is Social Giver from Thailand, and this is a youth-founded platform that partners with businesses to offer exclusive deals on travel, dining, and lifestyle products. And 100%, as they have mentioned in their website, 100% of their profits will be donated to local charities. So the impact of this socialpreneur is it bridges the gap between consumers, businesses, and social causes, empowering young people to support meaningful initiatives while enjoying premium experiences. For cultural sensitivity, this is familiar to you. This is batik boutique. Can I get a reaction, please? Are you familiar with this? So, Batik Boutique is a socialpreneur. It is a fashion and homeware brand that employs artisans to create handmade batik products. So Miss Reggie mentioned earlier that she received a batik product from a friend, and I hope I can avail some soon. So the impact of the socialpreneur is hiring women and marginalized communities. This business supports economic empowerment while preserving Malaysia's cultural heritage. So that is why this contribute to cultural sensitivity. Um, I know that you're familiar with this. Grab, a super app. This is widely used in the Southeast Asian nation, and this is an app, um, a super app that started as a ride-hailing service and now provides more than providing transportation to the customers, but also provides food delivery, financial services, and logistic solutions. So, what is the impact of Grab? It has connected millions of drivers and delivery partners to income opportunities, particularly in underserved areas. Its ecosystem approach exemplifies how technology can scale solutions effectively. And um, I know that you are familiar with this too. This is from Indonesia. Eden Farm. This is where technological integration becomes a driver for socialpreneur too, because a farm to the Eden Farm is a farm to table agribusiness that connects local farmers to businesses through an efficient supply chain. So, are you still with me? Can you please chat supply chain if you can still hear me? And if you're familiar with Eden Farm, yes. How about the others? So supply chain. So this Eden Farm um, uses technology to create sustainable supply chain management for customers and food providers or agri product providers. The impact of Eden Farm is it reduces food waste. Everybody chat food waste. I hope that you're still with me and I hope that you can still hear me. Food waste. Eden Farm reduces food waste, increases farmers' income, and ensures consistent supply to restaurants and retailers. Now, let me introduce to you to Ecolink. So this business, um, we created this business when I was still in my fourth year in college at Xavier University or Ateneo de Cagayan University in Mindanao. So let me introduce you Ecolink, and we have a tagline. It's economic wise, ecologically friendly. So can somebody guess what this product is for interaction purposes only? Okay, that's correct. Nashwa, this is a charcoal. This is a charcoal briquette particularly. So Echelene is a charcoal briquette made out of sawdust and rejected banana. So can you smell this picture? Can you smell how this product can you imagine how this product smells when you lit a fire on it? So this is our product, and my classmates in the college um, wanted to solve the problem of food waste. So we went to we actually this product is actually problem centric. We want to solve a problem in our community, and that problem specifically is food waste. And based on research or statistics, food waste generates an estimated 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions and takes up the equivalent of nearly 30% of the world's agriculture land. So this is really a problem when food waste are not decomposed or properly decomposed, right? Or so our solution to this problem is to process food waste and bio waste into value-added products. So as you can see here, this is our CEO graveling the sawdust. So we don't know, we don't in the Philippines we do not really know the byproduct of sawdust, and I hope that you know what sawdust is. These are um, by- byproducts of um, wood processing such as sawing, milling, and drilling, and etc. So this waste, the sawdust waste, we um we combine them with with the waste from rejected bananas and presenting to you our very humble Ecolink. This is aside from it helps with the um it has a combustibility property when this can also be used as a deodorizer in your homes, and also this can this app also repels insects. So imagine the food waste or the bio waste turned into a value added product, and this is a sample of how our Echoling works. And if you can see, instead of hiring people from random people in our production, we have hired or adopted a community in Mindanao. And if you can see this man actually is a blind man. And that means that even if the people with a disability can also part be part of or can also gain income because the production of echolene is very simple. So that's one of my sample, and I hope that you were inspired with our humble um, product accolade. So that's it for me, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Samantha. It's very interesting because the our Hampton, by the way, we have the lot of the product is banana in our Hampton. Maybe next time we are collaboration for environment in our Hampton. Okay, maybe
That's good.
yeah, sure, sure. It's a very interesting. So maybe our student, you have the question maybe for Ma'am Samantha and Ma'am Reggie, maybe Brother Pawas, Sister Jihan, maybe have the questions, please. Pawas, maybe Nashwa, Brother Bailor or Brother Irfan, please. Okay, ma'am, maybe start. Well, we have a question personality. We have the question like how you maintain your product. How you maintain like
Actually,
what where you get the finding maybe where you get like material.
okay. So actually, that was like how many years ago? 2013 or 2012 to 2013. I was still a college student, and we defended that business idea, but we also declared that it was a loss because we do not have the technology. One of the problems that was mentioned earlier was for sociopreneur or technology, right? So for it was we declared loss. Our business declared that we incurred loss because of the it was just air dried, so we do not have really a technology for it. And so what happened, it was a rainy season during that time, so we cannot really air dry our product, so it was not sustainable. And we were honest enough to declare to our dear teachers that it was really a loss. But it was very overwhelming that we as we made ourselves public in the social media. I can share the link to you so that you can see our humble post. It was
You can send
still,
to me.
yeah, sure, sir. And um, there were many people who who tried to message me, and they are individuals or businesses from different countries. I was so amazed because of the how do you call this, the impact or the novelty of our product. Many are still messaging me even up to now, and sharing their technology. So I believe that nowadays there are different shapes for charcoals already. Some are shaped into donuts, but ours were shaped as charcoal briquette or a cylindrical type. So many messaged me, and some of them were from Southeast Asian countries, and they gave they gave me technology, or if they want partnership. But yeah, it was a collaborative business. Actually, it was a partnership with my classmates, so I cannot decide for the whole team. And we were separated. My classmates are separated now, but I am really interested to pursue this because of the rise of biochar. I have um joined one seminar here in our university, and they have mentioned about the significant impact of using biochar uh, in our agriculture in the agriculture. And the business ideas reignited. So that's one of my answers.
Thank you, ma'am. So maybe Brother Pawas, do you have the questions, please?
Okay, maybe I don't know. It sounds does it sound trivial or not? But in my thoughts, that it is the most crucial thing for especially for the entrepreneur, which is persistent and how to build the business. Therefore, we as entrepreneurs tend to multi-phase with some failures. So indeed, that failure and risks maybe is binding with the entrepreneur. So my question, how we can get up with those failures that we will face in the future, and especially for the small and entrepreneur business, or MS, which is really compet with the others business, and how we can manage those failures to be more persistent in the future.
Ate Miss Reggie.
Good morning, Faust. And for me, talking about, failures can be inevitable when we start businesses, but we can actually avoid it by having a good startup planning. So, firstly, the very own purpose, like if you're going to look into the problem or are you going to put into profit, whatever it may be, there must have to be planning and forecasting, because if you would know, you would always have buffer. Aside from having buffers with those kinds of problems that you may encounter, you can actually also have to lay down your stakeholders, and then possibly one way, there are a lot of businesses that are good in startup, but eventually they fail in the curve because they fail to innovate. So from time to time, we need to innovate, we need to upgrade, and more so, we need to get the feedback from stakeholders, how the stakeholders wanted it this way, what will be their suggestions. So if that would be the case, we can pivot at our ideas, make it attuned to what they wanted. So I think we can avoid failure in that. And then startup wise, I think yes, the government or NGOs can actually help us by having some resources, areas, and then of course a good marketing and sales initiatives would actually help hurdle our failure concerns. So I think that would be for me.
Okay, so Brother Fawas, maybe you can get feedback. Enough. So, Brother Baylor, you have
If
the
I
question, ma'am. Please turn on your.
Yeah, and thank you for to the both presenters. Sorry, I went off a little bit because of my internet. And I have a question for Ma'am Regi. Sorry if I pronounce the name wrongly. And as we know, social entrepreneurship, maybe as students right now, we are in the communities and we can identify problems, and maybe we can come up with solutions. I think one of the biggest problem is maybe funding to get the resources on how to solve these problems. And I think in our time now, like we already have the SDGs. These SDGs can guide us and the social problems that we need to focus on. But sometimes we have solutions, but we cannot implement them because of funding or because of regulations. So what do you think are the limitations for this our generation to access funding? That is the first question. And what are the solutions you think we can use, or what are the ways we can influence, we can talk to investors or donors so that they can understand our points, and they can invest in our solutions, or they can invest in our innovations. So that's my question. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, can I
think,
answer?
think
Uh,
okay, yes.
okay, you and can I go
I will.
first, Miss Reggie, and then you? Okay, so what's good with uh nowadays is that, especially here in the Philippines, and I hope this is also the trend there in Indonesia. What we have here are we do have incubations, business incubations, and pitch competitions that are actually coming from the students. So we are so actually this December 4 we will have a pitch competition uh, where um, where one of the panelists or the judges for the pitch or business pitch presentation is the manager of our partners who will fund or who will give capital in the commercialization of this business idea. So one thing that every sociopreneur or business how do you call it, startup, those who are interested to start up their business is to creating a clear business model. That is very important for investors if they are able to present a clear lean canvas or a business model canvas. If they're able to answer where who their who their customer segment are, who are their key resources, who are how they get generate income, or what are their revenue streams. Investors will just will I believe investors will be willing to uh, give for their capital or fund for their to start up their business. So I hope that you have that in your classes, but we are willing to teach you to create or to like have a good how do you call this, a strategic business model canvas or a lean canvas, so that when you will be able to when you will or there will be an opportunity for you to share your business ideas to the government, or to the angel investors, or to other capital investors, then you're able to present your business ideas very clearly. So, Ma'am Reggie.
Thank you, Sam. Just to add up, I think Ma'am Sam actually have covered it all. So basically, for students, the school can actually help by inviting investors, as what Ma'am Sam had said, possible stakeholders and successful businessmen in the place. So in my experience in Xavier University, as well as Ma'am Samantha, there was a forum whereby some of our classmates are able to present, and then their ideas are being bought by successful companies, and just with idea the students are given incentives. So the others also, aside from incubations, the school can have, if there are forums together with local government officials, they can actually share the researches, so to speak. And then if it's going to be research based, the government is actually very much willing to fund it. In our case here, so possibly in your country, if that would be, and then there must have to be a tripartite, possibly, um, from government, private entities, as well as the institutions, so that they will be invited by the time that there will be forums and colloquiums, that the students will be able to present the researches, then they will be able to fund and sustain those. So even NGOs, so non-government organizations, who are actually very much willing, there are some associations and organizations, so that can be a good avenue to present your product for funding. In addition, also talking about products, so we have a student before, doesn't have money, they don't know how to start up. That student is only collecting hagwash, or what we call here, they're just collecting leftover rice. So over rice, so the student try to process the leftover rice, so try to dry it in the sun, and then eventually make it to a pop rice, and then added chocolate, so chocolate pop rice. So actually with a lot of materials, even a local available materials can be actually upgraded to have added value.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Samantha. Ma'am, this is very insightfully for us, the new perspective about the social planner, exactly. So I think this is the closer for us, Ma'am and student here. But because we close this case section, we must be maybe take picture together. Please turn on your camera, all the participants.
Okay, Nashwa has a question here.
Oh, Nashwa. Oh, yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, Nashwa, maybe you can turn on your audio. The last the question from Nashwa.
I think she already wrote it on the comment section.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, ma'am, the question from the Nashwa exactly talk about the who must be important, capital or idea? What we must be start, idea or a capital? This is the two important. We must what is the start for solution for social planner?
Sam, after
I,
B, yes, Sam, you do it first.
I believe that the business idea should go first, because once the business idea and the other key resources are put into place or order. The funding for the fund will be uh, how do you call this, Miss Reg? It will just it's
Um,
let's just start with the business idea first, and
Yes.
yeah.
In addition to Ma'am Sam, yes, we're going to start with a business idea because by laying down those nitty-gritty details for the business idea, it is where we will know how much capital are we needing. If we don't have that much capital, that's the time because we bootstrap, no, whatever is available in our pocket, we can put it as capital. But if the capitalization needed is higher, we can have a funding plan. So during our presentation, we present our funding plan. We are going to need this. So by the time that it is going to be presented to the investors who would understand the very reason or essence why we wanted to start a business, they're going to support us. So I think it's always the idea.
Yes, and the resources to build the idea, like the human resource, the raw materials, and create or the technology involved, so that it will be plain to the investors where their money will be spent, and how will the income, how do the business gain their income. So you have to present that to the investors as well.
Revenue streams, Ma'am Sam. So ideation and then prototyping, and then that's the time resource allocation, and then
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay. Okay, I think to closer. Thank you, ma'am, for your answer about the student's question. So maybe I want to sort the conclusions. So basically, this conclusion of this the guest section now is talk about the entrepreneur is not just the profit oriented, but focus on the social oriented more. But when we must try to make maybe the community to start the sort community and start and still ongoing bachelor, we must be make some new, yeah, small socialpreneur maybe. You have to train. We must be make new soft small solution for society, maybe for our environments. So maybe before we closing this guest lecture, maybe you want to take picture together, ma'am. Please, all students, turn on your camera. So the risky, maybe you can could assist us to screenshot maybe. Okay.
Mas, can you turn on your camera too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Brother Violet. Thank you. Okay, Brother Rizky, already? Okay, wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, and all students for coming this guest lecture. Maybe maybe you have a lot of the question. Maybe you can email or chat WhatsApp maybe next with Ma'am Reggie and Ma'am Samantha maybe, because we got your number. Inshallah, I want to share permission to share to our student maybe a lot of discussion about the social planner. Okay, thank you, ma'am,
Okay.
for your.
May we ask what are the other topics that you would want us to discuss for the succeeding week?
Yeah, Brother Pawas maybe because this is our student now, but the courses.
Okay. We'll just keep posted.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
for the time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Hope
you,
to
ma'am.
visit. I hope you can visit here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Inshallah.
Inshallah for exchange program. Okay. Fawas
Yeah.
maybe inshallah exchange program to Bukitnan State University next.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Reggie.
thank you. Permission to leave.
Yeah, sure.